Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and today I have a Des Moines gameplay. I might have posted one on this channel a while back, but that might not be true. But anyways, we kind of needed a Des Moines game, and I figured, well, why not do one? Another reason I was doing this was because someone sent in a Des Moines replay. You know who you are, but unfortunately, we were not able to record that, so it's kind of a tribute to him, but yeah, we're just gonna play with the Des Moines today. Now, the Des Moines is one of my favorite cruisers of all the cruisers. It is by far one of my favorite cruisers, and I'll tell you why. Besides its 6-second reload, it has amazing anti-air, and for whatever reason, I just get so much joy in farming salty CV tiers. I just love shooting down planes. It's not all about skill or anything. You know, I'm sure I'd be pretty good at shooting down planes, but I don't know. It feels so satisfying just watching the planes get picked off and melted out of the sky. It's so satisfying. But going back to the reload, that's where the Des Moines really shines besides the anti-air. Its reload is very, very good at 6 seconds. The thing that makes it so good, though, is I personally run Demolition Expert on the Des Moines instead of AFT. I used to run AFT, but now I've switched back to, I've switched to Demolition Expert for a couple reasons. Demolition Expert, you can actually probably set more fires than the Zao can. This is a little bit controversial because it's never really been proven, at least by me or by anyone else. But theoretically, you could see how and why it would happen. Obviously, the rate of fire, and you get 9 shells per full salvo. So theoretically, there could be an argument there. But the Des Moines armor piercing is one of the best in the game, hands down one of the best. And you guys can see in chat here, some guy asked me how the Des Moines differed from the Baltimore or whatever, and I just straight up tell him the Baltimore is a great ship. I love my time in my Baltimore, but the Des Moines is just that much better, and it's pretty obvious. You'll see here throughout this gameplay that the AP just does massive damage to angled ships. Like, angled battleships superstructure, it means nothing to a Des Moines. Absolutely nothing. You'll still get the non-penetration and bounces like you would in most cruisers, but most of the time you're going to be doing 4,000 salvos, 4K salvos worth of damage here. And again, I'm going to support this Yamato because there is a tier 8 Lexington, so he does shoot down a decent amount of planes, but with me there, good, you know, kiss your planes goodbye, basically. That's the basic thing you have to do when you see a Des Moines. And honestly, if I was this guy, the enemy Lexington, I would just pull my planes away as soon as possible. You saw there, just immediately destroyed that one squad. I am focusing the torpedo planes, and when they are dead, I'm going to be focusing the bombers. I do get Citadel there. I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy control clicking the planes, but that's okay. I still have a lot of HP. I'm going to shoot AP at the enemy British cruiser. I think that was a British cruiser, but it looked like a Neptune. But anyway, I'm gonna shoot at that guy, get a nice juicy Citadel, because it's basically a floating Citadel. People complain about the Pensacola being a floating Citadel. Well, this one's even worse. So my friendly destroyer pops smoke for me, and what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna hide in it. There's no reason for me not to. It's the perfect spot for me. I'm close enough to the enemy where I can get both my front guns firing at once, and I could probably even angle myself a bit so that I can shoot. An enemy destroyer gets popped up here, and my AP does do quite significant damage to destroyers, but I do switch to HE because you want to break those modules and whatnot. But don't underestimate the AP. I see a lot of players do this. They'll switch from AP when they have AP loaded, when they see a destroyer, and they switch to HE immediately. Don't do that. Just shoot. Just shoot your whatever you have loaded, and that's it. The Shima's going to disappear pretty soon. He's got his torpedoes coming towards me. I think they will all miss. And I'm just waiting for him to smoke so I can pop my radar. But I didn't need to, because I killed him. So that is, as the guy just said, I'm off to a great start. Yes, I am. Killed the enemy tier 10 destroyer. And here I'm switching to AP. This is where this ship shines. Oh, another destroyer popped up, so I'm going to have to focus him. But as soon as this guy smokes up or goes undetected, I am definitely going to radar him. But he's already dead. So this smoke is going to be running out soon, and I do not want to be full on towards a... bow on towards a bunch of battleships. Theoretically, that's a good thing. You want to be bow on most of the time when you're playing this ship, but that is just too much heat for me to take by myself. So I'm going to be turning around in smoke. Hopefully I'll be able to make a big... I'll be able to turn enough, because smoke does look like it's starting to fade. It's been up for a while. I see that the enemy destroyer... or the enemy battleship is shot, so I'm going to be moving out of the smoke right now. And now, here we go. Here's the AP. Anytime I'm shooting at a battleship with AP, something else pops up. It's so annoying. But either way, I'm going to be kiting these guys. I don't want to give broadside, obviously, with that many battleships. And secondaries shooting at me. I hold off on my repair because these, as I said, these secondaries are still shooting at me. So I just pop my heal just to stop the damage from coming in. As soon as I get 2 fires, I then repair, and then I am about to go into cover. So that's also another reason why I repaired. Here we go. There we go. Let's start looking at these damage numbers. When you get full salvos off, you really do a lot of damage. This battleship shoots at me, but I successfully dodge all of those. Gonna have to turn towards these guys sooner or later because, well, I don't have many options. So again, just aiming at superstructure. This guy's angled probably 30, 40 degrees to me, and I'm just doing lots of damage to him. So don't underestimate the power of this AP. I see a lot of players stick to mainly almost HE exclusively, and it kind of makes me mad because I feel like they do so much better if they switch to AP once in a while and actually use it. It's one of the ships besides the German cruisers that I actually find myself using AP a lot. So I'm gonna try and help my guys over on the up there in the north, but they're slowly getting picked off one after the other. So I'm going to turn around and recycle and rethink my approach. So this is one thing I should have done. I probably should have popped my defensive AA here for this Lexington. I figured he would have his up, but I shouldn't assume. I should just act. But I am still shooting down quite a bit of planes, and hopefully I'll do it soon. Yeah, there we go. So bit on the late side, but our Lexington ends up being okay. He gets his fighters back over here, and not much of a problem. I've shot down almost every single plane that's been in my vicinity. I spoke earlier about how I switched from AFT to Demolition Expert. AFT was very nice. your detection by air, if you've got concealment expert, is 7.8, I believe. And your AA goes out to, your long range AA guns go out to 7.2 kilometers. And with planes being so fast at this higher tier, guess what? As soon as you get spotted by a plane, boom, it's already shot down. Or if it's an enemy squadron, boom, you already shot 2 down planes. It's actually hilarious because by the time the enemy carrier realizes that his planes are just getting destroyed, he's like, oh shit, I've lost all my planes. So, kind of funny in that respect, and that's why I did go with AFT at the time, but I didn't see many carriers, so I've switched to Demolition Expert. Now, this Neptune made a big mistake. I'm staying bow on. He's still doing quite a bit of damage to me. I pop my heel, and I'm like, oh, radar's up. Time to use it. Excuse me. His engine's broken. 5 citadels. And these British cruisers, they've got the biggest citadels in the world. I was shooting halfway up the ship, and I was just getting pure citadels. So he kind of misplayed that situation. If he was bow on to me, he could have played the situation a little bit better, but he kind of misplayed and relied on his smoke. But I asked him here, did you forget I had radar? So now I'm debating whether I want to push in to help my team at the cap or go after their cap. I ended up going to their cap. I know that they have a Zao in Iowa, and their enemy Lexington was he was spotted on the other side of the map, but I know that they have 2 of those ships there, so I'm going to ask my carrier to go ahead and spot these guys while I use this guy's smoke. This smoke should last another probably 45 seconds or so, but my carrier kind of reacts a bit slowly, to say the least. But, you know, it happens, so not going to blame him too much. But this is going to be my fate. I've already done 113,000 damage. It hasn't felt like I've done that much, but you just do a lot. It's amazing how much you can do with this ship. This always happens to me too. I'll be playing for 5-10 minutes, and then I look at my damage counter. You know, it's some number over 100k or whatever. It's ridiculous. You just lose track of your damage. But the concealment's not bad on this ship. I believe it's 11 kilometers with all the stealth upgrades. So yeah, so it is pretty good detection. Not as good as something like a Zao, but well, I mean, what do you expect? And this here is why I think the Zao is a bit overpowered. The Des Moines is supposed to be the king when it comes to close range engagements, and I'm angling pretty much perfectly for this battleship, but this Zao, almost every single salvo, it's either a fire, 2 fires, or 6k. There you go. It's just absurd. And then he angles just a little bit, and my damage goes to 0. Or practically 0. So, again, 5,000. Most of those hit the rear part of my ship, but again, for whatever reason, that ship is just ridiculous. But he is giving a little bit too much side here, so I end up getting 2 citadels and end up with a Confederate ribbon medal. But that just about does that for the gameplay. We ended up winning 157,000 damage, 6.7k XP, 565,000 credits. Topped my team with 34 planes and over 2k XP, or 3k XP. But yeah, and here's some rest of the results. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and if you got any comments, please leave them down in the description. We answer all of them, or try to at least. I hope you guys have an amazing day.